All right, guys, we are back once again for another episode of Stock Market Review. Welcome to LUWEP Trading once again. It is Tuesday, so Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, really. The market pretty much, we had a big sell off today. This was a really, really big sell off, but we're not going to panic. There's a lot of panics out there. You can see it. You go on social media, you cannot escape it. Everybody's saying this is the squad, this is the crash, this is the crash. Is it? I don't know. Not yet, but we're gonna go through it. I'm gonna break things down. What I do, I don't panic when these things happen. I want to see exactly what is going on, where exactly is the price action, what exactly is the price action telling me, and where exactly we might go. We're gonna go into the probabilities. Over here, we don't deal with emotions. We don't deal with feelings. This is straight charts, no BS, no fluff. We're gonna get into it. But if you did trade today, there was some opportunities. It wasn't the downside, but there was some opportunities. But then again, if you are along the market, like I told you guys yesterday, it's a way where you come in, you get out, you do what you need to do. Couple of things we need to be aware of. So, um, news just broke just now. The U.S. for the first time is actually putting boots on the ground in Nigeria. So we actually have the military on the ground right now in Nigeria. We don't know how this is going to play out. There's a lot of moving pieces right now. Things are a bit tense with Iran. A lot of geopolitical issues with Iran right now. Things are really, really tense. I believe the U.S. Navy shut down an Iranian drone, and the IRGC naval fleet tried to intercept. I believe it was a U.S. Cargo ship, but they managed to get away. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. But at the end of the day, I want you guys to know what's going on. Be aware of what's going on in the world. You don't want to just fully put yourself in the bubble, because you know what? For most of us, we do also have what you call that. For most of us, we do also have a portfolio that has some investments in it, meaning things we wish to hold for a very, very long time. So we need to know how to manage these things as well. But for the shorter term, all I do is technical analysis. If it's not investing, we just focus on what the chart is telling us. We do not care very much about what's going on in the world, because as you could see, what the chart typically shows really is whatever you see that's happening. The chart pretty much already told us it was about to happen. Is it coincidence? I don't know, but this is just how things typically play out. All right. If you trade today, if you are here, guys, just hey, Jeff, what's up, man? Empire Path, thank you for tuning in. Once again, if you guys are here, remember to like the stream, like the stream, comment. For those of you guys who already commented, I appreciate that. That really help us grow. It helps the algorithm push out the channel. I want to keep doing this for you guys, but obviously seeing the channel grow give me more motivation. But as I've said before, it doesn't matter if it's just one of you guys that show up here. I will be here no matter what, because if I can change one life, I'm good with it. All right. We're gonna get straight into it. We're going to float into. Okay, I have the SOXL here. We're not doing SOXL, guys. We're not doing SOXL. We are going to go to the SPX. Let's see exactly what happened today. So, was it last night or a couple of days ago? We actually reviewed the SPX, and you guys are going to see the stuff those guys are doing here. All right, let me go on the daily time frame. This is why I titled this market sell off. A lot of people panic, but you know what? We don't panic over here. Why? We have our levels. We're watching those levels. As long as structure is set, support is holding, resistance is still hitting. You know what? We're not panicking. We're not jumping in. We're not getting shaken out and get all these things happening, whatever. We know what we're doing. We're taking our time. Price is going to have to show us it's either going to move up or it's going to move down for us to do anything, right? One thing I will share with you guys, I have said that yesterday, or more like today. Actually, was that it was today, not yesterday. So today, once I saw that rejection today, I bought puts. All right. So in this big market drop we had today, I was actually positive for the day. I had a good day. All right. You guys can see that right. That all that drop that happened is literally right between this zone. This is what's been happening. We just chop. This is choppiness. There is no direction. Like we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, that was a lot of selling. Big seller volume came in. This is the SPX, by the way. That's the S&P 500. It's very, very clean. This is why I'm reviewing the SPX. When I saw this happening, right, and I saw the drop, I had no panic whatsoever. I was like, hey, we might support my hold, and if it doesn't, this is going to be our stop. Look how perfect this came to this level. Almost, almost to a T, right? Again, this is not something I draw today. This is something I already had. So when it came here, I was like, hey, you know what? It doesn't look good. We have to be honest with that. It does not look good. Look at what the MACD is doing. All right, but we've seen that before. It's also not a surprise to come back tomorrow and see the MACD reverse in case we actually reverse. But what we're seeing again, right there, you can see buyers are stepping in and pushing the price up. Every single time we come to this level, buyers are pushing it. But at the same time, we also cannot ignore the fact that sellers are right up there are not letting this market push up. We need a catalyst that can really push us up. And as of right now, we can't get it. Unfortunately, based on everything that's going on, it's almost like it seems more likely we might have a catalyst that actually push things down as opposed to a catalyst that push things up. So that's the thing we have to deal with right now. Now again, don't forget guys, tomorrow what do we have tomorrow? Tomorrow we do have let me make this still a little bigger. Tomorrow we do have ADP numbers comes in tomorrow Wednesday at 8:15. That's before the market open. All right. Whatever the market is going to do, these things can really move the market. All right. Depending on how strong or how weak this shows up, this going to show us maybe we might get a rate cut, maybe we're going to increase, or maybe we're going to stay neutral. All right. Meaning if neutral is also not very good because neutral is higher for longer. That's what that is. We already high, meaning we're going to stay a bit higher. Then at 9:45, we have U.S. services PMI comes out. Typically not really a big deal, but then again, things like that can still happen. Thank you for showing up and teach us while we care. We don't let global events influence us. Okay, why am I reading everything here? Yeah, that's right. I mean, if we just going to go by whatever's in the news, this is how you get chopped up and get manipulated. All right. So this is why, and then again, guys, when I'm talking about manipulation being done, it doesn't necessarily mean there's a couple of guys behind a curtain that's doing everything. You know, because remember, most of the trading that is done today are done by algorithm. So the algorithm have specific levels, specific news events where they trying to take the stock to buy and all these kind of things. That's working. All right. But what we can do is right off the bat. All right. We taking piggyback ride. That's what we're doing. So when we had this drop started, this was a violent drop. When this drop started in the morning, there were absolutely no news when it first started. All right. Then when we started pulling up a little bit, that's the 30 minutes, by the way. This is the 30 minutes time frame. That's the daily. When we started pulling up, that's when the news came out. We're going to have a vote in the House to see if we can pass a bill to come back for the partial government shutdown, right? We started to rally. Then we had these drops started happening. Once we were like right around here, that's when news broke that the U.S. just shut down that Iranian drone. In So that's a big issue, right? We had fighter jets up and shooting that down. Is that going to escalate, create bigger tensions? We do not know. Iran's also doing massive military drills and whatever, because those guys are not playing either. So there's a little game of chickens are being played. So when all of these bad news showed up, so and you see this is happening, this is painful, right? If you have calls, this is painful. We have to be honest with that. So when you see all of that, people panic because it's like, hey, seems like we just broke below this level. But guess what? Yeah, we broke below that level. But this is where the trend line is. You guys see how perfect? It's almost as if I just drew this trend line. I did not do that today. You guys know. You guys have been here. You see it. You guys know we already had this here, right? So I wasn't panicking. I just saw it when it got to here. The puts that I put on, I took some profit. I'm like, I'm gonna take some money out. This is where we are. And as soon as we got here, we started going down. Literally right there, I was right in front of my computer. The news broke out that the House just passed, narrowly passed the funding bill to reopen the government. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. We have to trade when we trading. All right, we have to understand. We can't complain about it. This is how the game is played. Those guys have research team. They have informants. They bribing people. Whatever. I don't know. Let's trade with the idea and understanding that they know more than we do. Therefore, they will show their hand a lot of time. You just got to be careful because they will try to trick you. All right? They will try to trick you. Again, let me show you exactly what happened today again. This is how they trick people. Let's go in the 5 minutes because the 30 minutes does not fully do this justice. So this is the 5 minute, right? Market open here. It looks like, let me see, if I go in the one, you guys can probably see that in the one better. There you go. So we actually gap above this line, which is what I was asking for yesterday. When I saw we gapped up, I was like, oh, this might be the day. But then again, I do not trade when the market just opened. I want to wait for those guys to show their hands. That's the way I trade. A lot of people jumped in around this time. This was just manipulation. That push happened, and guess what happened? That's when you have institutions came in and just started suppressing that and just dumping shares. They started heavily shorting that, and you can see the result of that. That was just manipulation, right? And then from that point on, look at this drop. From that point on, we had this drop. Now let me go back to the 5 minute. All right, so this is the 5 minute. You guys can see that. Boom. This is pretty much what happened. They got you in. They got people in, and then we end up having that for the 5 minute. We break down. So that was just setting people up, thinking, hey, we just got up above. If I go back, you're gonna see it. So we just got up. Actually, I just realized I don't have anything on my screen right now. I appreciate you telling me that, Empire Brass. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm always doing that to you guys, man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm always doing that to you guys. Um, Let me just go back and show that again. Let me show that once again. There you go. You guys can see this. This is the candle I was talking about. If I go in the 1 minute, you'll see that even better. In the 1 minute, you can see what they did. Gapped above that zone. That's that resistance zone. Nice candle. You think the stock market is going to one up, but it doesn't. This is what it does. They just drop the hammer. Go into the 5 minute. All right. This is the way the 5 minute actually closed. And then from that point on, all we did was a straight down drop. Straight down drop. All right. So let me just go to the 30 minutes. Where are you? There you go. Beautiful. Okay. So now that they got people early in the morning, right? So they got you in the morning and they push it down. What did they do again at night? So that means by that point they completely trap all the bulls. If you are a bull and you bought this because we gapped up, guess what? They got you. Then when you had that, it seems like, hey, you know what? We're going to get this seems like we're going to reverse. So if you do a Fibonacci retracement, it almost appear as if we just did a retracement and that zone is holding. But no, again, that was manipulation. How do you avoid those? Confirmation. All right. Again, this is why you stay out. At the very least, I would always advise everyone: do not trade the first 5 to 15 minutes. At least at the bare minimum, the first 5 minutes, do not take any trade. Just wait. Just wait and see what the market does. All right. So that's how you do that. That's how you avoid all of these things. Anyway, you guys can see that. So they got all the bulls trap up there. Give us almost a fake reversal because you can see now right here. You could say we have in support, but guess what it did? Again, it pushed here. We never had a continuation green candle to show us that, hey, we are going to reverse. This was just somewhat of a bull flag. We never had that. So again, if you bought at this level again, they just trap people again. Maybe some people bought up there when they saw this happen. So what did they do? A lot of people, when they lose in a position, they don't like to close it. All right, so you average down even in day trades, like, hey, I'm going to average down. And then what happened? While you average down, they took it down and they took everybody's money. All right. So now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you're looking at when we got to this level, you could say again, this is how sometimes you have to know. When I tell people, you have to wait for breakout and continuation. This, this is the way to trade. This is the perfect way. But it's always the one thing, the one step I always add to that is where exactly is that breakout and continuation happening, right? So you could say we broke below that zone right there. You guys can see it. We broke below the zone right here. And then we have that continuation candle. Okay? You don't jump in there because we have continuation. Okay, once we have continuation, your job now is to wait for what? A retest of that level to come back down. All right, we went, we did that retest. You can see some buying came in, and we never really give a signal to go back down. And then again, where exactly was this happening? Right on top of a trend line. Therefore, I do not care if this give me that. I don't care about that because it's already at a strong and trend lines are dynamic support. All right. Uh, Let me repeat that again. Trend line are dynamic support, meaning it's not static, it's not constant, right? So it keeps moving. You guys can see here. Let me go back on the daily because the daily looks a lot better. So I'm gonna do that. When we try to push down here, we came to this level. You can see buyers came in. Although this level would be a support level, but if you track in the trend line, that's what gives you that dynamic support level. So this is a support level, but you also have support here because why? That's the trend line. The trend is going up. All right. So that's why I didn't take a trade right there. And this is how I avoid those type of trades. So you gotta have those things on your chart. So when they show up, it doesn't surprise you. It's like, hey, I see what's going on here. I mean, if we break this level and then we have another candle tomorrow that shows up here, okay, that's fine. But then again, I want to give you guys this caveat. I'm not saying we may not have a down day tomorrow. This is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is this is no need to panic because we got to this level. Because why? As of right now, all of our support level, all of our structure still in play. they are still set, still holding. Things are still the same. Nothing has changed beside intraday price action move. Nothing really changed. What have we been doing the past few days? It's open and close right inside of this area. All right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's almost 2 full weeks. We've just been in here. The only time since we got in there, the only time we got down was when we had this pullback. But if you look at it, since beginning of the month, all we've been doing really is just trade right in there. So we need a breakout and confirmation of that zone. If you're gonna take any like leap calls, for any leap calls I'm going to take, I need that. Leap puts or swing trade, day trading. This is perfect for day trading because there's a lot of volatility. You can make some good money. All right, day trading. That's where you can make the money. By the way, if you guys are here again, please make sure to like the live, support the channel, help me push that out, share the video if you really like this. Check the make sure you support the video. Let me know what you're watching from. If you wanna share that, I would love to know what people are watching from. And also about I see the views coming. However, nearly it used to be about 60%. As I'm getting more views, I'm seeing about 80 to 85% of you guys are not subscribed. So if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any live. And make sure to check out some of my other videos. If you're looking for trading strategies, once again, I do have trading strategies that's right there on the channel for you guys. Maybe this is something that can add to your arsenal, or maybe give you a new perspective on things, or maybe you already know. It's just something that sort of like pretty much confirm your current strategy. Or if you know somebody else that can benefit from that, just make sure to share the channel with them. I would really appreciate that. Now, back to business again. This is what I'm talking about. We here, and this is why we are constantly, I keep telling you guys this. This is the motto. This is POP. It is process over profit every day, any day, every day, every single day. It is process over profit. Why am I not panicking? My process tells me not to panic. Why is it? Why is that? Because hey, I have all my support level, all my trend lines. Structure is holding. Even though we have a lot of intraday swings, nothing really changed. All right, nothing really changed. Unfortunately, if you are buying calls or whatever it is you're doing, this market is not really giving you a chance to work out a play. You either get in at support level and take it way to resistance same day or next day, or get it at resistance to support level. It's not really giving you a couple of days. Maybe if you won, you have time to get out. Because if you bought calls, short did it, like a short did it swing call. If you did that, today they got killed. All right, you got smacked. There's nothing you could have unless you close them in the first 1 minute of the opening day. You completely got smacked. All right, let's take a quick look at that was the SPX. Take a quick look at the Qs to see what's happening. Once again, we're looking at the Qs right now. I'll let you guys know, guys. The Qs do not look good. This does not look good. However, exact same thing. What is it do we see? Let me remove this here. This is a minor level. What do we see again? This is that support block, and all we've been doing it's this man, these damn level. This is ridiculous. Like this, we just been right in there. That's all. All right, that's all we've been doing. Couple of times, like here, we popped up there, we popped here, and we do that. But if you look at it, if you take a step back, once again, take a step back and just look and see what exactly is going on, and you guys will realize where again we close inside of that wedge. So what we have here is a wedge pattern. Let me just try to clean this up just a little bit so you guys could see. I can put everything back. All we're doing is this, right? That's it. And if you connect all these prints together, you'll see it's just a wedge pattern being formed. All right, we're just forming a wedge pattern. We're not actually moving or anything like that. Nothing has changed in the market. All right, so if you were scared because you don't know what's going on, I'm not telling you not to be a little bit cautious, because again, if we're looking at that, you guys can see what we're seeing here. This is a bearish engulfing pattern. But look at the wick. This thing has a long bottoming tail, and that trend line so far still holding. The trend line actually held. We did not close below the trend line. Although we have the MACD coursing down. All right, but that's not news. The MACD just been doing that. This is a confused MACD. All right, that MACD does not have any direction. Let's see. How do you stay disciplined when the markets are unpredictable? By following my process. Just by following the process. It's POP. That's all we're doing. Have your process, have your trading plan, and stick to it and follow it. Draw your charts. All right, keep updating your charts. Have your trend line, your support zone, your resistance zone, and then just follow that. Every chart moving patterns, there's always a pattern being formed. All right, either we're gonna break out of a pattern. Once we break out, at some point we're going to settle, and another pattern will form. Just find a pattern. All right, that's all you need to do. Just find a pattern. Let's dig in just a little bit. So you guys see exactly what is happening. I'm trying to figure out what's happening. The MACD does not look good. But then again, we still have that opportunity to do something like this. If we can curl up, that would be good. All right. The 4 hours do not look very good right now. I don't see any life as of now. A lot can change tomorrow when those numbers come out tomorrow. That can change things. But also, I believe we also had AMD reported today, and they did not do very well. So that may the AI trade might be a bit of a headache. So we'll see how all of that plays out. Take a quick look at the 2 hours. Yeah, the 2 hours is not looking very good right now. That's not looking. We need to reclaim this level, and as of right now, we are not reclaiming this level. That is not very good. Um, Again, if we look at that, like I said, find the pattern and see what's happening. I remember when I talked to you guys about that and say, hey, we have to be careful of a possible what? Of a possible double top. And that's what we did. It's a double top. It wasn't done, but hey, I told you guys, right? This is possibly, you have to pay attention. Yeah, this could have been, this could have been a bull flag, right? This could have been a bull flag, but you also cannot ignore the other side of the trade. You always, always, always keep in mind that, hey, there's always two different patterns forming. All right, you just gotta wait to see, okay, which one going to win out. So when we have that break of the bottom of this potential flag, that's when you know you're going to go down. And that was a violent candle. This was violent. Anyway, so what exactly are we looking at right now? Again, I'm going to give you guys the bear scenario because that's the most obvious one. So this could just be a bear flag, right? So this could just be a bear flag. That's the easy scenario. We can see that. So what did we do? You guys can see we went, we drop, break this level, came back, retest, and we're gonna make the second leg. Just like I told you guys over here, right? You also cannot ignore the possibility of a double bottom. You cannot ignore that either. This is how the market has been played. If you're looking at those, so the biggest issue the market is having is the fact that there's not really much support right all in there, right? You guys see all these gaps that you look at all this empty space, like there's nothing. There's not very many support levels right in that zone. So when if the market is going up, look at this giant candle. If the market is going up, giant candle. Down, giant candle. Look at that. Here, complete gap. There's absolutely nothing here. Complete gap. So we have those moves happen constantly because there's no support zone inside of that range. So therefore, we may just go from range to range. So you have to be careful. You have to watch and see exactly what is happening and things like that. All right. Um, yeah, and the MACD on this, the MACD right now, it seems like it's crossing up while the MACD is crossing up. But if you look on this side, let me bring this up just a little more. You guys can see on this side, it is the MACD is actually negative. It's not positive. This is the neutral line. Neutral line is right at this level. Positive side is right here. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Chill out. Positive side is all right here. Negative side is all down there. All right, so that's why we have. Okay, so I know some of you guys do trade Bitcoin, so I'm going to take a quick look at Bitcoin. But again, for tomorrow, expect another volatile day tomorrow. All right, that's what I'll tell you guys. Expect another volatile day tomorrow. Can we make some like a move like we did today? We can. Was the likelihood of something like that to happen? I would say very slim. Reason I say that is because of where we actually close, and if you also look at that, you can see that that wedge pattern is actually getting tighter. So right now, price is actually coiled up. All right, price is contracting. When price is contracting, this is how you know a major move is going to happen. I know I've said it a couple of times now. A major move is going to happen. Those 10-point drop, 13-point drop, that's not a major move. What I'm talking about is a potential 5 to 10% move. Where exactly is that move going to go? I don't know. I cannot tell you guys where it's going to go right now because price action is not telling me, it's not confirming anything. It's just bouncing up and down, but we're not doing anything. So we're gonna have to either break that floor or smash the ceiling. Either way, something is going to happen, and I hope you guys are positioning yourself. All right, I really hope you guys are. For those of you guys that are in the community, even though I'm not certain things I'm not going to drop in there, right? If I'm taking just a protection play like a put or a call, I'm not gonna drop that in there for you guys to trade because these are money. I'm not. This is not like a very sound trade. This is more like protection, meaning I'm willing to lose this amount of money, right? So I'm coming in there expecting, hey, I may just lose it. So this is why, if you're asking yourself, well, we in there, why you don't drop those? This is why I don't drop them. All right, just so you guys know. And by the way, I will be on Teams after this. All right, if you guys are part of the community, I will be on Teams after this. So make sure to tune in so we can cover a couple. I have a couple of stocks I'm looking at, a couple of great plays. Great plays I'm looking at. I want to go over with you guys. And by the way, I'm getting things set up. So tonight I had a bit of a private. I kept that private test on streaming on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. So those will be coming soon. Those will be coming soon. But I did test those out tonight, right before this live stream. A couple of bugs. This is why I didn't launch it today. I didn't want to completely swap things. I want to test that again when I'm not doing this live completely. When it's more like a live to just talk to the masses, I want to just do something like that. All right, just going right back into the chart once more. Um okay, I think that's the same. That is the same question. Let's take a quick look at the VIX once more. You guys can see what's happening with the VIX. Had a bit of a spike, got beaten back down. That's all right. Um, However, again, we can see this is rising. This is what I'm not very comfortable with that because I can see now the MACD is positive and it's actually open. All right, it's open and it's getting momentum. So I'm not very happy with that. And if you take a look at gold, gold is going back up again. What is it, guys? You guys know when money come out of the market, it goes into things like safe havens, like gold, right? So that's pretty much. I think this is what pretty much happened. Remember when I was telling you guys like the big banks pretty much smacked gold and silver down? They probably did that. They got that day. Couple of them finished unwinding their positions here yesterday, and then pre-market today they just bought it. That seems to be what's happening. This is not a chart you can actually look at and trade. That's why, by the way, guys, I have not been trading. This is not trading. All right, this thing just went parabolic and just doing crazy stuff. This is not trading. This is why I'm not really touching it. Again, taking a quick look at the U.S. 10-year yield. Again, if in case you have not been here, you have not heard this. Um, the when the Fed cut interest rate, it has no bearing on 10 and 30 year interest rate. All right, the Fed only controls the short term interest rate. All right, that's the short end of that spectrum. That's what the Fed controls. Say like a 30-day little credit card payment. You know what I mean? Like things like that. But if you have like like a 5 year, 10 year car note, mortgages, things like that, the Fed has nothing to do with that. This actually does not decrease mortgage rates. All right, that's something that the market actually said. So this rising is not good news because that means it's going to make things more expensive. This is how we get increase in inflation. And by the way, last PMI number, inflation actually went up a little bit. But as promised, for those of you guys who trade Bitcoin, this is Bitcoin. So not nothing big has happened in Bitcoin since we last spoke. As of right now, this zone is still holding that support level. Bitcoin is fighting and holding on for dear life. Bitcoin might need a prayer, a beer, some water, whatever it is, whatever you can do. For those of you guys who trade Bitcoin and whatever, just know if we lose this level on Bitcoin, there's trouble brewing. There's not really any strong support. There's some minor support level, but not a real pivot point until we get way down to the 50s. All right, there's a few little levels where you could like, okay, maybe you might have something here and here, but the big support level is like way down in those areas. All right, we're talking about like the 50s. That's where Bitcoin is. That's what Bitcoin is looking like right now. And honestly, I don't like it at all. I don't like the way it's looking. It's looking a lot like something that might be going down even more. And that's a scary thing that's happening here. I'm pretty sure you guys can see it. This is the 30 minutes. This seems like something that's doing a double tap as of right now. Again, it may be that hey, what we just gonna do here is some sort of like a bull flag and continue to move. But the other side of the coin is a double tap for us to continue going down. So if you in crypto, I feel for you. It is tough. I know it is. Let me see. Do you see a potential turnaround by end of the week? When you say turnaround, I'm not sure if you mean turnaround as far as the market going up or the market going down. I cannot say either way if we are going to go up or going down. I really do not know. Oh wow! So this is the S&P. This is the SPY, the SPY. Most of you guys, that's what you guys trade. You don't trade the SPX. The SPY. We actually just came to test this line. That we've had this line for a long time now. Again, it's still the same support, same things going on, but I don't. As far as when we're gonna get a turnaround, I really don't know. I do not know. All I know is let's go back to the SPX. All I know is the latest by end of this month. By end of this month, the latest. This will have to take a direction. All right. Why am I saying that? Because by the end of that, by that time, we are going to get right to the end. Right. See, that actually coincide perfectly with February 27th. How interesting is that? So by the end of this month, this wedge pattern will be completed. If we're still in here, right? If we still haven't broken out yet, so something gotta give, a move will happen. There's no ifs and buts about it. It's going to happen. All right, either on the way up or on the way down. There will be a move. All right, all of this little thing that you see, that's again, because if you look at that, right, you can see the moves. The moves used to be bigger, right? And you can see how the moves are getting. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry, guys. Let me just use that instead. The move used to be bigger, and as we start getting closer, you can see the moves are getting smaller, and it's gonna keep getting smaller. If we don't break out, it will keep getting smaller, and eventually there's no more space inside of that. So that's when you have that control, complete contraction, and then you're gonna have that explosion. All right, price gonna have to pick a direction, and either we're going to move up or we're going to move down. All right, so by end of the month, the latest, we should have where we need to go, because right now everything we keep getting, I keep thinking we're going to go, and every single time we get mixed signals. So we had big tech earning comes in, it's mixed. It is mixed. Some really killed it. Some really did not do very well. So they drop. So that means we can never get any momentum either way. All right. So that's the problem that's happening. Here's the good news. There's a lot of those big tech stocks that's actually currently at support level. All right. For example, Netflix. Where exactly is Netflix? It's 45. I'm gonna have to wrap up the live very shortly because I have to go meet with those guys that are members. If you look at Netflix, right? Let me just remove this. Netflix is at support level. I can remove all of this, all of that. If I go all the way back to 2022, where I did this, and you can see how that trend line was holding, 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 right? And now we back at the trend line again, and that's a crazy drop. So are we going to bounce? I don't know, but this is a good level. I've been building that Netflix position, and I intend to actually go full position on Netflix as of now, and I'm just going to wait and see what happens. Right? Once I get the signal, I want to go full position at this level. I feel comfortable with that. Again, these will be leaps for me. I'm talking about things I'm going to hold for like a few months, if not a year. All right. So that means if there's more of a drop, the reason I take things like that, we are down so much on these things, right? We're down 40%. Like how much further down is it going to go? How much further down is it going to go? It's a profitable company, so they will bounce. All right. If I want to take a look again at Microsoft, where exactly is Microsoft? Again, you guys can see all those things. So this is why I do those trend lines. Microsoft trend line here. This is the first. This is the when we had bounce here. You can see that. And then where exactly is Microsoft? I have a secondary trend line that's right down there. So there's a potential of going to like around 395 ish. But then again, this is a strong support zone on Microsoft. You guys can tell this is what happened. We did a double tap and we dropped. This is what happened with Microsoft. We did a double tap and then we dropped. So that move has been completed. That move has been completed. So therefore, I don't mind. I can see we push it. I can see us pushing up. All right. I can definitely see us pushing up. Do I see the signs yet that we're going to push up? Not exactly. I do not know. So there's a lot of, again, if I even go like another big guy. Not that big of a drop, but still you can see Broadcom. Like if I go on the daily, you can see it. Broadcom from 414 to down today. Actually, I missed that today. That should have been my trigger right there on that falling wedge. I was not around to see that level, so I could not take that. And you guys can see the bounce that we had from 308 to 320. Actually, that's a 12 points. Could have already made good money on that. All right. So that's what I'm talking about. There's a lot of a lot of those big guys that we already have a move on them. So we are going to keep an eye out, see how things are playing out, guys. I really have to go. Wish I could stay to keep giving you guys some game. But I have to go meet with those guys. I have to give them some time. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Again, just be on the lookout. We're going to be streaming live on multiple platform now. We also going to have for those of you guys who watch on YouTube. If you just want to watch vertically, I'm having that set up. The vertical stream set up. I want to have the vertical stream for YouTube and TikTok as well. Unfortunately, you may not be able to really see the full chart if you are watching the vertical stream, because you have to have the landscape mode to be able to see the charts and everything. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. I will see you guys tomorrow. Again, do not panic. Make sure you have your levels. Watch your levels. Stay disciplined. Follow your process. It's POP. And it's been a pleasure, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another live.